Oh, that sun is so nice. All right, day 15, I think. I've kind of lost count. I'm pretty sure, though, it is the 25th of June. Yes. I'm out gathering firewood. It's been really rainy my entire time up here, basically. It's been like this. Even now, you're about to see the sun is about to tuck away behind a cloud again. So I'm just trying to gather firewood. And then my day is about done. I'm trying not to expend a lot of energy. Unfortunately, I have to walk back to the pickup truck and get milk. I bought 4 or 5 jugs of milk. I've got them down at the creek down way a couple miles that way. So I need to go get one of those. Also, I'm down to just stick matches right now. My lighter went dead, so my spare lighter is in the truck too. I should start writing a list. That way I don't have to do these things over and over. Normally I like it, because it's what I like to do is walk and adventure and see things anyway. However, it'd be nice not to have to. I'm just gonna gather up some sticks and twigs and stuff. That little camp stove I made burns really efficiently, and so I just mainly gathered this dry, dead stuff, and I don't have much else to do but sit there and feed the fire anyway, so tending the fire is kind of a form of entertainment. I love this stuff. Whenever I find something like this, because it's flat, right? You don't find flat out here very often. So I harvest this kind of material, and I can take that back and build a shelf out of it. See? I can put it together like this. That'll be nice. All right, let's get on with the adventure. Ha-ha! I always try and remember in any kind of survival situation or anything like that, like you see the bears and stuff, and you know how a bear looks like a slow animal? They're always kind of like, they're just back and forth and stuff, right? Kind of just roaming mode. I try and remember that the reason for that is because the bear doesn't know where its next meal is going to come from, so it tries to use as little energy as it can just moving from one place to the next. In a survival situation, take for instance this. It's not life or death. Well, I mean, it's life or death if I did it wrong, right? I mean, this is serious. However, it is a survival situation. I have X amount of food, I have X amount of distance, and I only have X amount of body storage, right? The muscle and protein and the fat and everything and the carbs and all that my body stores naturally. So I try and always be mindful of that in order to reach my goals. Now, I'm used to being able to sit down and look at a pile of rations, figure out how much gear I need, how much food I need, and the distances I'm going to be going. Now, trips like this is a wasted trip. I'm going back. Well, actually, you know what? Depending on how much I wind up getting, sometimes I'll bust a trip up into 2 loads anyway. So if it, with the milk, yeah, this probably, not to make excuses for myself, this probably would have happened anyway, because the milk's gonna be heavy. I try and make 2 trips or 3 trips sometimes instead of hauling a lot. It's really, oh, it's a convenient little armrest. Look at that. I just lean back and talk to you. I'm like, hey, look at that. Wow. I don't like it when it works. It's the little things, Anyway, I'm too loud. It takes a lot of force, or puts a lot of force on our joints and bones and stuff to haul a lot of weight. So that's why I'll move slow and I'll make multiple trips if I have to. Also, not making mistakes not remembering what I need from point to point is also important. And when I find myself erring in a way like that, I just try and make a mental note of it as something about myself that I want to correct and work on that, Life is an adventure. And without the struggle, there wouldn't be an adventure. Think of movies, books, plays, any act of fiction or history. It has to have those danger beats, those low points. How did Darby O'Gill say it? And Darby O'Gill and the little people, we need the bitter with the sweet, or something like that. Isn't it just gorgeous, though? I mean, like, guys, you know, I don't recommend things that I don't truly believe in, right? If you're planning a vacation or something, I can't say enough about the state of Washington, especially this area. It's beautiful. You can get as wild with it as you want, basically. From the state campgrounds, which are beautiful and well kept, all the way up into, you know, sticking out on your own adventure in the middle of the briar patch. The sticks, right? Yeah. And I gotta say, shout out to the forestry department too. Thank you guys for everything. You take such good care of this state, and I love the way that you also trust the individuals. It's really cool. There's a heck of a dynamic right here. Whoop. That was cool. That log right there, it just like collapsed. It's neat when you're there to see the acts of gravity. It's like that old saying, right? If a tree falls in the woods and nobody's there to see it, does it, or hear it, doesn't make a sound. I always say, well, I was there to hear it. And they're like, well, then of course it made a sound. You were there to hear it, right? But I have. It's like a special moment when you're there to see a tree that stood for hundreds of years fall of natural causes. It's happened twice in my life. And then little things like that's kind of neat too. Because it looked just like an invisible like predator or something stepped on the log and it just went crack. Oh, and yeah, the woodpeckers here are so cool. I'll try and get a little bit of their audio. They sound just like the Predator from the Predator movie. It's really neat, especially when you're out there in the real boonies and it's like... All right, onwards and upwards. We got a ways, actually. I'm going to conserve your battery unless we get into something neat. Maybe we'll see a bunny. Do you recognize this trail? This is one of the back trails to the cabin. It's where I've got my milk stashed in the creek, actually. It's fast flowing and there's a little indention where I can put it and it doesn't float away. And also the cows don't come and disturb it either. So, look at this. There's so many cow tracks. It's really neat. They move through in like caravans. It's so neat. It really is. Like the other day I got between one of them, they were moving right through up by where I'm camped, right? Oh, a little squirrel right there on the log. Yeah, but I had to go through, right? And I thought that was all the cows. So like they're finished passing and I walked across and there was one more coming up on the tail end, right? And it like stopped and kind of like looked at me and then like stepped back a little bit. And then most of the herd, it just kept going, right? But then one of them, this little brown cow, like just stopped and looked and waited. And it was obvious to tell that they were like friends, right? So, and then the other cow finally got up the nerve to keep on going. And then they like united and the little caravan of like 6 of them and a couple babies just took off back down the trail. I really like them being out here. It adds something kind of mystical to just be walking through like the boonies and all of a sudden it's like a caravan of cows. Or every now and then you see a single bull will be out and that's kind of a neat moment too. They are so massive, so strong. Scared the heck out of one the other day and he scared the heck out of me too. I thought it was just like 3-4 cows drinking out of this culvert up on the main logging road, right? And so I was just walking past them. One of them happened to be drinking out of the culverts, and I didn't think anything about them. The cows are big, and they're a little intimidating because I've never been around anything like that. But they're no big deal. So I'm walking past, and I'm looking at the back end of this cow, and I realize that's not a cow, right? At the same time, he turns around and sees me. And he got so scared. He like, I'm not saying like terrified, scared, but he was spooked. He was like, what the heck is standing behind me? And he jumped up and had that look. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And I had that look, right? And we kind of like both scurried away from each other. And then when I had to pass where he and his little harem were on the way back, they were up inside the trees. And he was kind of like just laid out underneath one of the trees and just watched me pass, like, because I totally got the jump on him. But like I said, I didn't know he was there. I thought he was a cow. Good times, good times. Here, the creek, isn't that pretty? One of my favorite streams. Checking for prints. So hard to tell on a rainy day like this unless they just stepped on it. Mainly just seeing cow stuff. I'd like to get some flour, maybe make some gravy tonight. Isn't it nice? I just couldn't resist walking up the road a little ways to get a more open look at the mountain. Isn't that gorgeous? It doesn't look like the storm is finished with us. I also thought we could go look at it, kind of try and forecast for maybe the next couple days. Like I said, it's been raining. It literally rained for like the first 8 days I was here. And now it's off and on rained like almost every day. Makes it hard to get things done. What do you think? So that's past us already. That dark clouds there, those are headed out for Loomis. Loomis is out in that direction, kind of. And what's coming up on us, okay, this is past us too. But this is what it's been looking at. Like, see, we can't really see where it's coming from. They're moving really quick. So that tells me that it's going to keep rapid changing. All day long, it's been off and on showers. Now we got some thunder. Like I said, that part's already past us. I don't know. I'd say it could do anything, honestly. I give a 49% chance of precipitation. 49% is basically 50-50. That's like it might rain, it might not. Isn't that a pretty cool stove? All right, as the day is winding down, I'm just, you know, hoping that tomorrow will be a bright, sunshiny day where I can get a lot of stuff done. That'd be really neat. We could see some wildlife. I tell you, there's wildlife around here, guys. Up here in the briar patch, there's like, we've got a lot of black bears. I mean, when I first got here, I counted like 4 or 5 piles of black bear mess that was fresh. Like I said, there are bunny rabbits, snowshoe bunny rabbits. They're adorable. They let me get close to them, actually. We're going to have a lot of fun. Again, I apologize to everybody for all the negativity that's been coming in here recently. We're going to try and fix that, and if not, we'll ignore the parts we can't fix. But we got to give it a shot, right, guys? Okay, final words for tonight. Hi, friends. Okay, I just finished up with dinner, and I'm up here in the canopy, our little high hiding place, looking down on anything. I brought my rope up here. This is a good old-fashioned cotton rope, and this is in case I had to spend the night in the tree ever in the future. I can tie myself up here. Hey, it's not crazy. I mean, I guarantee, if anybody were ever hiding in a tree, right, trying to wait for a bear to lose interest in them, I think it'd be nice to have some rope to tie ourselves on. I just do. Okay, it's late. I'm tired. Life is such a grand adventure. It really is. There are always little reasons and stuff that if a person accentuated them could like suck. I like to take the difficulties of it all and focus on the defeating that defeated feeling. If that makes sense. Isn't that stove cool? I still have to get the spark arrestor put on there. That's what that mesh, that netting is for. Oh, yeah, I need to get down out of the trees and clean up camp. I've got to get all the food items and everything over there and tied up into a tree. Then also, oh yeah, I'll show you that real quick. Hang on. Now, it's been raining all day, so these poles are slick. I want to be careful and try to always remember those kind of details. Being one person doing this stuff, it's important to be overly cautious and aware about everything, actually. Not to a point where it keeps us from being able to call to action, just to a point of awareness of the situation, I guess, you know? All right, so this is the last thing I'll show you before I call it a night. And I don't know if you can even see it well. Oh, crud, you can't. It's an alarm system. I'll show you in the morning. It's really genius, actually. So this stick here is tied to a string. It's heavier on that end, so that end wants to swing down, right? Well, I have this piece of aluminum here, and so the stick is held up by a string on this end that runs down to a stick in the ground. You can't see it. I'll show you in the morning. You're gonna love it. It's really cool. Okay, guys, never give up, never surrender. Haha. Okay, so twice I heard something really big step on something that way. Really close. I'm up in the tree right now, which I should have made this taller. I can't see anything. You mainly look for eyes. The light will shine in their eyes. Whatever it was big and it's moving, and there aren't any cows out when it's nighttime. So it wasn't a cow walking around, but it sounded like a bull. You know what I'm saying? I just finished cooking too, so there's food smell in the air, and it just got dark a little bit ago, which is like prime time predator time. Let's see what goes on. Like I said, I just stashed this ammo bag up here because all I have is a 44. So if I have to retreat and I'm up here and it's down there, I can reload. And did you hear that? I can't waste my battery. I don't know. I might bring some chow or something up here too. I should have put perimeter alarms further out also, which I'll probably do tomorrow. Okay, I'll let you know what happens here in a few minutes. I gotta be quiet because the light and stuff's gonna draw it in too. Could have just been a little black bear. There's sign right out there. I'd hear it on the main road and then it turned this way. It's being quiet now. It knows I'm here. I don't know what to do. I could just hear breathing. Should I light my flare? Use the wolf pee? What do I do? Listen. There's a big pile of brush behind us, and if it comes in from the left here, it has to go through that pile of brush too. We'll be able to hear it. to stop recording for a second, but I don't want to miss it. I'm just going to stay right here by the fire and wait and listen in the dark. Alright friends, it's been about 20 minutes or so. I heard more noise further down the trail. It might have been that big black bear that comes in and digs in the second campfire. There's another campfire down there that the cowboys used to use that I use now to cook in, and sometimes this big black bear will come in at night and dig through for like the grease droppings and stuff. So I think that was probably what it was. Tomorrow we'll get this place better fortified. Right now I'm just going with the maneuver I grew up with as a kid. Getting a tent, zip it up. If something scratches on the tent, be quiet. If it doesn't leave, shoot through the tent. Hope that it leaves. Most of the time it will. In fact, every time I've ever known, it always has. I've got my wolf pee and my flare. If things get heavy and I hear stuff moving really close and then jingling start going off, I'm gonna pop the flare, spray the pee. It's just such a weird thing to say. And rock and roll with everything I have. So, it's fun. I feel a lot better when I get the camp better fortified. That's all it is. Alright. I hope y'all are having fun. I just don't feel like any of the adventure has been the adventure lately. You know? I just need to get back on my feet and things will be better. Alright. I'll talk to you later if anything happens. Otherwise, I'm going to go to bed pretty soon. I'm going to make a bowl of cereal. I brought my cereal and milk into the tent with me. Alright. Thanks for being there, guys. I'm tired. Never give up, never surrender. Life isn't easy, and the things that we work for are always going to be difficult. However, even if that difficulty is very hard for us, it'll be easier if it's something that we've chosen to pursue than it would be if it was something that was easier that we hadn't chosen to pursue. I hope that comes across like I kind of thought it. Anyway, Matt's deep thought for tonight. Night, guys. June 26th. It's late evening, early night, and I am getting ready for bed. It's been a good day. I spent a lot of time around camp. I got a really cool alarm system fixed. It's based off of the alarm I was showing you yesterday, technically last night. And yeah, I got more poles up around the perimeter. Got some smaller poles I'm going to use to build more furniture or like kitchen stuff. See, this is new. Actually, I didn't show you this. I built this cabinet. You'll be able to see it better tomorrow. Pretty uneventful day. I've been trying to save my battery and everything. Nothing really has happened. Tonight, there's a bull. I was hoping that you're going to hear him. He's up over that way. And he's just like making the weirdest sounds. Kind of reminds me of like in the cowboy movies when one of the cowboys turns to another cowboy and says, "Hey, something's spooking the beeves." Alright, yeah, all my cowboy friends are going like, "Matt, really? No, dude, no." Alright, I'll see y'all guys later. I'm making, barbecued pork neck and fried potatoes. It's going to be really good. Oh, there the bull is.